Well, it's Wednesday. I'm Nina Creech, and welcome to Whole Home Wednesday, where it's our mission to keep you safe and healthy at home. Today, I have special guest expert, Sarah Bourgeois. Hi, Sarah.
Hey there.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about ramps and specifically about renting ramps. So why would I rent a ramp? Why would I need to?
Some people, let's say they have surgery and they come home and they lose their mobility temporarily. So when you're recovering from something, it's usually a couple of months, and you don't necessarily want to commit to an expensive ramp long term if you really only need it for a few months.
Okay, so how do I make sure that someone isn't sketchy? I don't get a sketchy provider. So what are the kinds of things I should look for from a ramp rental place?
Ramps have to be a certain length. So there's certain building codes that we have to meet. If somebody is trying to sell you something super short and it's going to be too steep, that's just not safe. So a good rule of thumb with ramps is 1 inch per foot, which means however many inches between your door threshold and the ground is how many feet of ramp we should have. There's some exceptions there, but you don't want to vary from that too much.
So what's the kind of turnaround time that I can expect? So let's say my dad had a hip replacement and he's coming home from the hospital. People don't usually plan for what it means to get out of the car, right? They're so worried about the surgery. What should I expect from a provider in terms of turnaround time?
So we have a rule that if you call us within 48 hours, we can respond. So we need to run out to the house, take some measurements, and then we can usually install it within a day or two after that. So within 48 hours, we can get you some service.
Okay, so to recap then, cheaper is not always better in the sense that if someone says, hey, this ramp will be $600, it might be too steep. So what you're saying is pay attention to how steep it is, what they're telling you, go with the inch per foot. You could rent them when would I want to change my mind, and when would it make more sense to purchase something versus renting it? I guess.
Yeah, if the recovery doesn't happen as speedy as we like, if it just becomes where you need it longer, then we have a purchase option. So if you rent it for so long, you're essentially going to buy it, and that's a good offer that we have. Also, when you're finished with the ramp, we come and take it down fairly quickly, so that we're not charging you for the time you don't need it.
So that's something else to consider. How quickly can it come in, and when I don't need it anymore, what's the process for it coming down, as well as the financing part of it?
Right. So another advantage to renting is we will come and take it down. If you purchase a ramp, then it's yours, and you're kind of stuck with it, and it can be kind of big and cumbersome. So by renting it, you have the service of us removing it when you're done with it.
So those are all very good tips on staying safe and healthy at home. So we don't always plan for a surgery, but when they happen, just file this away for your thinking so you or a loved one can stay safe and healthy at home. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.